Every year when the weather warms up and it becomes summer, dogs die from heat stroke. Well, don't let your dog be part of these statistics. And so today I want to talk to you about the 5 main signs of heat stroke that every dog owner needs to know about. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex from Our Pets Health, where my aim is to help you and your pet live a healthier, happier life. And really, with heat stroke, if you can spot it early in your dog and then take action, their chances of survival are greatly improved. And the first sign of heat stroke in dogs is excessive panting. So clearly it's going to be normal for a dog to pant when they're hot, but often when that's the case, if they're just a little bit hot or if they're just a little bit out of breath, their mouth won't be fully open, their tongue won't be fully out. They'll be looking around, they'll be swallowing, they'll be, maybe licking at things. Really, when we're developing heat stroke, when the dog's body is starting to overheat and become too hot, the mouth will become completely open. Their tongue will be as far out as it could possibly go. Their tongue may even appear swollen as it becomes engorged and swollen with blood, and they're just not going to stop panting for anything. So excessive panting is the first sign of heat stroke in dogs. Now, the second sign of heat stroke in dogs is excessive drooling. So evaporating saliva takes heat away from the body, and that is what cools the dogs, and that's really how panting works to cool down a dog. Well, that's the main way it works. Now, more saliva is produced by the body in an attempt to cool the dog down more, to cool it down more rapidly. And so you're going to see drooling, you're going to see them getting wet around their mouth, around their chin, and maybe even their chest as well, as that drool kind of soaks down through their coat. The other thing that you might notice in a dog who's starting to become too hot is that the saliva becomes much thicker and becomes more stringy. And that's really a sign that your dog is becoming dehydrated and that it's really getting into kind of quite dire straits. Because by the time a dog gets really dehydrated, it's actually going to stop producing saliva completely. And so the third heat stroke symptom in dogs is dry, red gums. So as that dehydration progresses, the gums are going to become dry rather than be saliva drenched, because there's just not the water for the body to kind of secrete to have that heat loss effect. So those dry gums are going to develop, but also they're going to become bright red, and that's as the blood vessels dilate just to try and dump more heat. The gums are going to go from a salmon pink to more red, and sometimes to a brick red. So look out for that as the third sign of heat stroke in dogs. And then at number 4, we have vomiting and diarrhea. So as the body heats up, the organs and the other body systems, they start to struggle, they start to break down, and that causes real problems. And that's when a dog starts to go into multi-organ failure, which is clearly bad news. So the breakdown in the intestinal lining is one of the first things to go, and that can cause vomiting, it can cause diarrhea. You might see fresh blood in that vomit or fresh blood in the stool, but the stool might also be black or tar-like as that blood that's passing through the intestines gets digested. So that's going to be something that happens a little bit later if that's the case. But if your dog is getting hot and is starting to vomit and have diarrhea, then really they need help straight away. They're in a really bad way. And then my 5th sign of heat stroke in dogs is confusion, wobbliness, collapse, just a change in mental state. So as the heat stroke develops, as the body temperature starts to rise in your dog, the nervous system just becomes compromised. So you get this change in mental state. They might not come back, they might not respond to you as they normally would. They become confused, they become dull, they might become depressed, they can become wobbly, so unsteady on their legs, and that can then lead to collapse, or they lie down and they're just not really able to get up. And then that progresses to twitching, to seizures. Your dog can become comatose, and eventually they're going to die, and that can all happen in a really short period of time. If you notice any of these signs in your dog, then taking immediate steps to cool them can dramatically reduce the damage that's being done and really improve their chance of survival. So you can learn about the steps that you can take in my video all about how to cool your dog down quickly, or you can download my free summer dog care guide, linked down in the description below. But for now, I'm Dr. Alex, this is Our Pets Health. Keep your dog safe in the sun, because they're family.